Hello, and welcome to the Gaia update for the new moon in Sagittarius that's happening on Sunday, December 17th, 11:31 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm Adrienne Elise. Well, this new moon in Sagittarius is a powerful, new moons are always a new start of a cycle. And this one in particular, we're talking about a shift of ages because this new moon in Sagittarius happens on pretty much right on the Galactic Center. And we have had a lot of activity. I've been talking about this with Saturn and Mercury coming together on the Galactic Center. And so with this new moon in Sagittarius, it's a culmination of this Sagittarius energy, the seeking for the truth that Saturn and Sagittarius over the last 2.5 years, and it's coming to a head. And what does this mean for us? This means it is time for us individually and collectively to get in touch with our cosmic destiny, and that we are consumed with this world. Sagittarius wants to seek beyond the veil and see what's out there beyond what we understand already. And so this new moon in Sagittarius on the Galactic Center is saying that it is time for us. We are looking beyond. We're figuring out, with Mercury doing a retrograde in Sagittarius, it's like we are figuring out what is our human destiny. What is this pull from the cosmos pulling at us, reminding us, trying to leak through into our day-to-day structured reality of 3D reality. We get up, we go to work, we do our thing, we feed ourselves, we do our chores. It's like, wait, is there anything else out there? What is the point of all of this? And this new moon is saying, yeah, there is a point, and we are way bigger than we have been told. We are way bigger than we've been led to believe, allowed ourselves to be. It's time, humanity, individually and collectively, to step in to our true destiny and stop playing small. And so this new moon in Sagittarius is super activating these parts of ourselves right there on the Galactic Center. This is a really potent time, the end of December and leading into January of 2018. Just a lot of stuff going on. And it's the main thing everybody's talking about, of course, is that Saturn on the 18th of December, or 19th, moves into its home sign of Capricorn. Now, the way things are lining up, now Saturn and Capricorn, the time when the sun moves into Capricorn is old man winter. It's the winter solstice, and it is a rebirth of the year when the light returns. And this year, it's like a pageant to escort Saturn back home into its home sign, the sun and the moon. First, the moon is going to move over right after this new moon, and then the sun will join on the 22nd of December, which is this solstice. And so then Venus is going to follow on the 25th. So by the 25th, we're going to have the sun and Saturn and Venus all in Capricorn, and we are going to be starting this new era. So it's interesting because this new moon in Sagittarius is like, it's speaking to this new chapter on planet Earth, because we have these big planets changing signs. Saturn changes signs every 2.5 years or so. That means it takes 28 to 29 years to go completely around the zodiac. And so it's been that long since it's been home in its home sign of Capricorn. And Saturn really likes being home in its home sign of Capricorn. And I'm going to go ahead and check out my Saturn and Capricorn video to get a sense of this next couple of years and what it might mean for you and collectively on the planet. Saturn is our karma, work, duty planet, father time. It's our reality check. It's get down and make it real energy. And with Pluto in Capricorn, that means what we're getting real about is breaking down and rebuilding new structures, breaking down the structures of our lives that are no longer serving us, and rebuilding things that can serve us. So a very, very potent time. And so right after this, all this bloom of Sagittarius energy, this new moon, this is the last like big kind of oomph of fire energy, and then we're moving into grounded, stabilizing, sobering, serious Capricorn energy. And it's also, though, a balancing of karma. Saturn is our karma planet. And so it's about integrity and what's right. And so we're leveling the playing field, and we're kind of all of the structures of our world that are not built on integrity and truth and our true destiny. Now that Saturn's had that time in Sagittarius, hanging out with Mercury on the Galactic Center, it's about, okay, it's time to get to work on building this new world that is based on more integrity. So wherever in your life that things aren't based on the truth of who you are and what you really want and your true spiritual destiny, that you might not have any idea really what that looks like, but those are going to be falling away. And also the systems of our world. We are in a massive balancing act right now. Saturn being Father Time, it's about anchoring in the timelines, coming down to earth, embodying the truth of who we are, humanity, in this 3D reality. And that means that we are having an opportunity for a huge karmic balancing. And so whatever in your life is based on truth is going to hold and strengthen and become stabilized. And what in your life is not based on your truth, your spiritual truth and your integrity and your true karmic path, are going to destabilize. So that's kind of the energy. Now, a couple days after this new moon on the 22nd, right, it's the same day that the sun moves into Capricorn, ushering in this new age. It's like the sun and then Venus following, and saying, you know, it's time to understand this coming home energy in our identity, the truth of who we are. And then Mercury's been trying to help us understand what Saturn and Sagittarius and the whole Galactic Center thing is all about with this retrograde. It goes direct on December 22nd, on the same day that the sun shifts signs, so that day of the solstice. That's pretty powerful energy. This is the rebirth of the sun in the northern hemisphere. And it is it'll definitely feel like that. As much as we're going into this Capricorn serious energy, to have Mercury turn direct and have like this shift of these ages, this new chapter, we're definitely having this new start energy. Now, we'll really be feeling that more in January on the 11th when Mercury comes out of shadow, meaning that goes back to its pre-retrograde position. And then, of course, it was at 29 degrees Sagittarius and Mercury moves in to Capricorn. So, whoa, lots of Capricorn energy. And then it comes up on the 13th with its third pass with Saturn. And so it's like a crystallization in Capricorn there, an understanding of like, okay, Saturn in Sagittarius was like humanity. There's more out there than we have been led to believe about the truth of who we are and our personal power and our collective consciousness and our autonomy. Capricorn rules our authority, you know, and where we give our authority away to get our needs met and where we own our authority. So this Capricorn energy is Saturn moving into its home. It's like, this is a great time to claim your spiritual autonomy, that you are the authority and your connection to source in your life, and feeling more boundaried, safe, and directed in your path forward, as well as feeling like you can claim that personal spiritual autonomy. Huge opportunity for this in this upcoming time. So the other thing that's happening is Venus is really making a show of itself. We haven't had a ton of Venus energy being activated, but Mercury retrograde comes up with Venus right before this new moon. And so the goddess is playing her role, and she is about our value system and what really matters, and about the divine feminine, our intuitive arts, our emotional self, and the beauty and love and truth in the world. And so it's like Venus is weighing in on this Capricorn energy, and still in Sagittarius, but moving into Capricorn, and on the 25th. And so they come together while they're still in Sagittarius, and the goddess is having an opportunity to inform Mercury that our understanding of this new world we're building, this new chapter, this who we really are and what is our human destiny, means we need to balance this divine masculine and feminine energies on the planet. So the other thing that happens right after, so that's just right before this new moon, and then right after this new moon, Venus squares up with Chiron, the wounded healer, and trines Uranus on the same day of the 20th. And so it's just kind of like bam, 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 all of these aspects happening at once. And we're looking here at the wounded feminine within all of us, the part of ourselves that has not felt safe, showing our vulnerability. And it's also with that trine to Uranus, it's an awakening of the feminine, of this being willing to stand up for this part of ourselves that's been disempowered, the part of ourselves that is that intuitive base, is this connection to what really matters within us and our emotional self. And on the planet, you know, our next chapter is around healing the wounded feminine within. And, you know, it's clear from this Jupiter in Scorpio, all this energy around, you know, sexual distortion coming up and coming into light. And it's like these issues of lack of respect for the feminine in all of us and distortion, sexual distortion, are coming to the surface to be cleared and healed and released. And so there's a big message for us here that our forward motion next chapter of humanity has a lot to do with re-empowering the goddess in all of us. So this is going to culminate as we move into the new year with Venus coming up with a conjunction with the sun. And so that, of course, happens in Capricorn. And that is going to be the first week. The sun and Venus stay really close together for this. And so we're going to feel this all the way through January almost. And Venus and the sun dancing there, it's about reclaiming our identity with this disempowered, vulnerable part of ourselves. And like that part of ourselves has been cast aside and suppressed, and it doesn't have any value in this world. And so it's interesting because Venus rules our value system. And so the collective consciousness right now, we're really kind of looking at rewriting our value system, and that being vulnerable, our emotional self, these are really, really big gifts of humanity. There's kind of this energy around other cultures out there in space really being interested in humanity on planet Earth because of our wide range of emotional awareness and ability to really feel a lot. And of course, that's what gets a lot of us down, especially these indigo souls and crystals that are so sensitive and feeling everything. And it's kind of like excruciatingly painful to be on the planet with all the pain that's happening if you're tapped into that collective. But what this is about is changing that energy so we are respecting these parts of ourselves and understanding that our emotional power is what guides us into co-creating with the universe. And also it's our vulnerability that is our greatest strength in coming to the truth of who we are. As we break down these power control structures, the patriarchal world that's been ruling our life, we're reclaiming this divine feminine, this part of ourselves in everybody. It's not men and women. It's the emotional, empathic, spiritual connection part, the true value system of what really matters in the world, coming to more of a balance with this Capricorn energy. Capricorn is old father time. It's like the father energy in our chart, but Capricorn's an earth sign. So it's really about the feminine and about balancing the true value system, fairness and equality. And it was women got the vote when Saturn was in Capricorn. So there's a bunch of energy, and the stars are lining up telling us about this, saying that this is where we reclaim that disempowered part of ourselves that's been cast aside and said it's not important. And actually our intuitive power, our ability to feel, our ability to intuit, and be creative and come into what really matters for all of us. This is what we need to base our world on. And so those structures, those patriarchal structures that have been negating, disempowering, and abusing the feminine within all of us have to fall away. And that's what the Saturn and Capricorn energy is doing. And we're preparing for this movement into 2020 when Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto all come together in Capricorn. And it's like game over, time to rewrite this reality, and timelines landing, true authority coming in of people that can help lead us, who are compassionate leaders, these indigo souls stepping forward and leading us into this new age value system more based on true human values rather than this mechanicalized, male dominant, patriarchal, damaging to the earth and damaging to the soul, spirit, and our collective consciousness. Just can't go on any longer. And so in our life, we're looking at, again, coming back to that integrity and what really matters and what is most important to us in our deep soul place. That Venus is asking us this. It's asking us to heal our wounds around being, the most sacred, spiritual, beautiful parts of ourselves being rejected by this world, and allowing for a reawakening, that the feminine can feel safe enough to come out and shine who she is within all of us and get down to the true values that we need to live by as humans and be able to take back this world. So it's a powerful day as we move into the new year, because on the 29th, all of our planets at the end, so we've got those incredible Venus things going on with Venus squaring Chiron, trining Uranus, and then coming up with a conjunction with the Sun that lasts for a couple weeks. So it's like we're having an opportunity to rewrite our identity and get into touch with what we really care about, and that fairness and equality we want to see in our life. And then also Mars, all of our personal planets are giving us huge messages as we move into 2018, validating this is a brand new chapter. Like, we are hitting new territory. And Mars is trining up with Neptune. Mars is in Scorpio, bringing that motorboat energy, bringing it to the depths of this muck and saying, let's just move through this crap so we can get real already with what really matters and what we really want to see happen in the world. And so that's a harmonious aspect with Neptune. Neptune is our delusions, but also our dreams, fantasies, connection to our spiritual, to the cosmos, feeling like we're connected to something bigger. And so Mars wants to take action on that. We've had all these beautiful Neptune aspects with Jupiter, and all the personal planets have been trining Neptune, and Mars is the last one. So it's like a completion, and Mars is like, let's go here. Let's do this. Let's break through this veil and see that we're cosmic beings. And we are living in this world where we're all numbed out and we're walking around asleep, just trying to get through our reality, trying to survive, trying to make our day-to-day reality survival stuff work. And there is so much bigger, such a bigger picture out there. And Mars is saying, let's connect to this cosmic truth, understanding. Let's break through the delusions that have been keeping us playing small, humanity. Let's live the way we're meant to live. And so Mars is super activating that Jupiter at the end of the year. Mars comes up with that Jupiter conjunction, and so we're going to just really feel this Jupiter and Scorpio energy and cleaning up the muck and being willing to expand the darkness and bring it into light and the shadow and all these things that have been hidden. And Mars wants to see that happen. So at the end of the year, a beautiful trine with Neptune, and then coming up with that conjunction with Jupiter. And so the other thing that happens is that Mercury, our personal planet, is trining the North Node. So Mercury at the end of the year will be in its retrograde, coming out of its retrograde and still in the shadow and coming up with this trine of the North Node in Leo. This is about our empowerment, about stop playing small, get on your path of true expression of who you are. And Mercury is the messenger that wants to understand, wants to bring it into practical everyday understanding. And so a lot of messages here about around this new year time is a time to really pay attention to the messages, to your value system, to the rearranging that's trying to happen in the structures of your belief systems to help you understand what this new chapter is all about for you individually. And also, I feel like we're going to be learning a lot more about what's really going on behind the scenes in our structures of our life on the collective level, political and financial and things like that. So all of the personal planets are super activated. The sun, the moon, and Venus all coming up with conjunctions with Saturn as it moves into Capricorn, and Mercury doing this powerful retrograde over the Galactic Center. And so we are having this, everything's pointing to this new chapter. And so right around right after the solstice, we're going to have the sun and we're going to have Venus and Saturn all in Capricorn, Mars trining up with Neptune, Mercury turning direct, the sun. And so we're just kind of, everything's pointing to a new chapter. And so this time personally is about paying attention and getting in line with this. This is the Capricorn, Saturn returning home in Capricorn feels to me a lot about anchoring in a timeline. We've got multiple timelines going on. Some of us, the indigo souls, star seeds, really existing in different levels of frequency consciousness back and forth and maybe multiple places. And it's like, come home, put that anchor in, put that timeline, anchor in the timeline, which is also the new earth. You know, we're really, as we're moving into all this earth energy with Uranus moving into Taurus, an earth sign in May of 2018, it's about finally building this new earth, or allowing these different dimensional frequencies of earth to come together and allow the magical Gaia energy a rebirth in our world. And that's where we get to this integrity, this fairness, this desire to take care of people, this desire to take care of our planet and our earth, and getting back to the human values that we all have deep within our soul and our being, no matter what we say and political orientation and all of this other bullshit. We are humans. Those of us that are not cyborg created beings or whatever, it's like humanity, we all want the same thing in the end. And it's time to get out of this bullshit duality consciousness that has been the control mechanisms on the planet fueling each side of every war, creating conflict again and again and again for us humans to just sort it out. And we're kind of, this is an old story and a done game. And so you can feel that tension right now as the old regime and the new truth are coming head to head right now. And that's a lot about what 2018 is about. It's like, okay, clear the slate, Jupiter and Scorpio, get this shit cleared out so that we can get down to business and build a world that feels good. Because these children that are coming in right now, and the starseeds and the indigos, the starseeds that so many souls on the planet right now are starseeds, and all of the children being born right now. And these children are that hypersensitive, totally aware psychically. We're moving into the psychic evolution where we're feeling what other people feel. And we cannot go on with this tragedy, this hunger and abuse and genocide and war. It's like, we can't have it. We cannot evolve any further until we understand humans and starseeds. What we're doing is we're moving to into our own spiritual autonomy. Saturn and Capricorn in the past has represented a golden age where people had their own spiritual autonomy. They didn't need laws. And we're trying to figure this out. Like, we need to come into this human law where we know what's right and we're willing to act on it. And because it's just getting too painful to continue as our collective consciousness grows in connection and we're feeling what's happening. And so this is where a lot of the indigos right now and crystals are, you know, there is a lot of energy of wanting to stay asleep and just numb out reality and just get through, because shit's so weird. It doesn't feel good if you open yourself up. But the thing about this and this whole beautiful energy of the new year energy of Mars coming up with Jupiter and having that trine with Neptune as well. And it's like, no, we're pushing beyond the stories that we're being told about this reality and grabbing a hold of that spiritual reality, grabbing a hold of our right to have our own spiritual autonomy and to be human, to be sensitive, to be emotional, to be vulnerable, and find the power in that, in building this new world that's more fair and equitable for everyone, and this requirement of our human destiny as we move into the Aquarian age. So for the new year, we've got Sun and Venus coming together. This is a new identity opportunity. We're rebirthing our identity as we move into this new chapter where we're honoring this intuitive, emotional, sensitive part of ourselves and a value system that works for everyone and wants to take care of people. And that Mars trine Neptune, so beautiful, of like just Mars wanting to take some major warrior action on who we really are, humanity, with our cosmic connection, that we are a part of Source. And this is the deal, is that the star seeds and indigos have come in very much, lots of experiences and higher dimensional frequencies and evolutions, and we've all done this before. And yet we all have these authoritarian contracts with these control mechanisms on the planet, because it's like been targeted and killed for bringing the light to planet Earth in past lives. And so our evolution as starseeds is to evolve. Everything right now is about evolving beyond the control mechanisms. When we're fighting the control mechanisms and going up against it and getting angry, which is, of course, you know, anger can be very empowering, but at the same time, it's about, we have to find forgiveness for the way things are and for all the people that have hurt us, and understand that it's about evolving beyond what's happened here. And so the truth needs to come to light, and we need to evolve beyond, so that we're not susceptible to the mind control. We're not susceptible to the poisons. We're not susceptible to the diseases that keep being created to try to keep humanity down. It's like, no, we're light beings. And this is the deal. So starseeds have given their spiritual autonomy over, because it's like, okay, wow, in order to come to planet Earth, I can't bring my light because they're going to kill me. This, or some sort of control mechanism energy that is lower dimensional frequency from where you came, starseeds. So the starseeds, we've given over our spiritual power to a lower dimensional energy that's actually a construct. It's like this false god, and you're going to be punished. And the way that starseeds have been punished and targeted is for bringing your light, bringing these innovative technologies that want to make the world a better place for everyone. That shit has been so suppressed and so demonized. And it's like, now it's time to get down to the truth of this. And so Saturn and Capricorn for starseeds is about breaking these contracts with this father god, with this bullshit authority out there. It says that there's some sort of authority says that whether or not you get to bring your light to planet Earth. Now, why would you continue to incarnate here? And why would you be such a desire to be here if you weren't supposed to come into your potential? So starseeds in this lifetime, it's like trying to do all the karma of all your lifetimes on planet in this Earth evolution, where you've been targeted every single time, release all that pain and trauma and evolve beyond the control mechanisms, evolve beyond disease, evolve beyond mind control. And so this is the energy of this new chapter, and taking back our spiritual autonomy, taking back our authority for the way we want to live our life and what we want our world to look like, and understanding that that control mechanism is simply a construct that's been put into place by beings that are not human, that are not in touch with the power of this connection to cosmic living source that we are. And so we've got to like get over this thing and be like, okay, we've given our power away to a construct of control because we're scared of our own power. You know, and it's like, how about we let all that targeting over lifetimes validate the truth of who we are and understand it's like, whoa, yeah, okay, no wonder I've been taught to fear my own power and my potential and my light because it is a threat to this control mechanism. And okay, hey, you guys, let's find each other, get on board with our projects, our soul team, building this new earth, building this new world, and just evolve beyond this construct of control mechanism on the planet. And so that is this age we're ushering into with all these powerful aspects at the end of 2017 and moving into this new chapter of 2018 where we're going to get real with it and we're going to get serious about having a world that better supports our true human evolution and our true human destiny. And so that means we're all finding that for ourselves as well. So pretty exciting time, also pretty sobering time. We're gonna have to look at some hard truths in our own individual life and in the world. But it's gonna feel so much better to get underneath and evolve beyond. And so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you can join me for the live activation. You can find out how to sign up for that below. And until next time, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.